Hello my friends, in today's video we will take a look at Insta360 One RS. One RS is an updated version of the modular camera system One R. One R has brought a lot of innovation to the action camera market back in 2020 and it managed to stay quite relevant thanks to the firmware updates. Now we have a new version which offers both hardware and software improvements. In this video we will take a look at the performance of Insta360 One RS and I will try to help you decide whether you should consider getting one. Much like the One R, One RS always consists of three parts: the core, the mod, and the battery base. All three parts of One RS are new. The core features a new processor and three microphones. The battery base has a much nicer grippy texture and higher capacity. The whole unit is probably as solid as it can be with that modular design, although conventional action cameras will have an edge. 1-inch and 360 mods from the One R are carried over, but they will benefit from the new processing. All One R parts are compatible and all mods will benefit from the new processing of the One RS core. The batteries will work as well. The 4K mod is completely new and it is called 4K Boost Mode or Lens. It has a larger 1/2-inch sensor. The build quality of the whole device is generally very good, the materials are also high quality and the new surface of the battery is also much nicer. The size in this basic configuration is comparable to GoPro Hero 10 for example. Another new component is the housing. It has a quick release mechanism which makes the installation of the camera a lot easier and faster. You also need to use it to ensure the water resistant, which is 5 meters without a dedicated waterproof housing. So how about the image quality? As I mentioned, the new 4K Boost mode uses a new half-inch type 48 megapixel sensor. Processing the video from such a high resolution sensor is quite challenging. In terms of the detail, it is a nice action camera footage, but some processing artifacts are visible. It is not terrible, but you may see some artifacts in certain parts of the frame. One thing that you absolutely have to do right after you get the camera is to set the sharpening to medium. If you leave it on very high, the output will be extremely oversharpened. It shoots 4K video up to 60 frames per second. 4K 120p is basically a standard in the latest high-end action cameras, so that is a bit of a downside. The field of view of the 4K Boost mode is 16mm, which is in my opinion about right for all-round use. A significant benefit of that 48 megapixel resolution is that it can utilize live cropping zoom. It retains full 4K resolution by decreasing downsampling rate, much like clear image zoom technology on Sony cameras. It is a lot more usable than normal digital zoom, but there is still a decrease of image quality. I would say that it is usable up to about 28mm, maybe 35, which is 2x zoom. The image quality isn't great beyond that. Another benefit of the high-resolution sensor is HDR mode, which actually works. It seems that it uses actual real-time stacking, much like the modern iPhones. I personally appreciate that it is not the heaviest HDR effect and it is quite tastefully done. It does reveal more shadow detail, so if you like this kind of look, it may be an advantage. The aperture on the 4K mode is f2.4 and the sensor is fairly large by action camera standards, which means that it is one of better action cameras when it comes to the low-light performance. Of course, there will be noise in low-light scenes, but I can say that the low-light footage is usable for documentary purposes. Probably the biggest real-world improvement for me personally are the colors. Those are much more accurate than with the One R. They are generally very accurate. Especially the green color looks much more natural. Default color mode is vivid, but I personally prefer standard, which has less saturation. The original 4K mode also works with One RS core and it also greatly benefits from the new processing. I will probably make a separate video about matching all components in the One R/RS ecosystem. Importantly, the color improvements will also apply if you use my favorite 1-inch mod. As I mentioned, it is still compatible with the new core. It uses the largest sensor available in an action camera and a very wide 14.4mm lens. The image quality in terms of the detail is very good with 1-inch mod. It is basically as good as it was with One R core, but with much better colors, which is a significant improvement. It is also still the best action camera in the low light thanks to that large sensor area. The stabilization has also been significantly improved. The main stabilization option on the One R was the post stabilization, which utilizes Insta360 desktop or smartphone applications. That is still available with One RS, but it also has very effective in-camera stabilization. It is basically what you would expect from a modern high-end action camera. Static shots look like on a tripod, smaller vibrations in situations such as driving are completely eliminated, and even walking looks great. You can also choose between normal and high stabilization mode. I use normal most of the time because it is more than good enough, but if you want even more stabilization, you can go with high at a cost of a larger crop. One RS can also shoot 48 megapixel stills. These are very nice ultra-wide images with a solid amount of detail and nice colors. One RS also supports raw capture, which provides more options for editing. You can also take 20 megapixel stills with 1-inch mode. These are similar to One R, but here again with a significant benefit of improved colors. 360 video with the 360 mode is largely similar to One R or One RX, but again with the benefit of more accurate colors. For me personally, the biggest benefit of 360 video is so-called overcapture, which means that the camera is capturing everything at the same time. Then you can choose the framing in Insta360 Studio app, which is great. 5.7K 360 video looks decent. It obviously can't look as good as video shot with other modes, but it makes up for that by offering the overcapture. The image stabilization is absolutely fantastic with 360 mode. It is by far the best of all devices that I've ever tested. As you have probably noticed, there is one downside to this modular design, and that is the smaller screen size. It is a 1.3-inch screen, which is okay for composing the shots, but that is about it. I am used to similar screen sizes from devices such as the Osmo Pocket. Of course, it is not great, but in my opinion, it is a reasonable sacrifice for the modular design. Big advantage of the screen is that you can rotate it forward and see yourself. Of course, this will be especially useful for vloggers. The user interface is logically organized for the most part. The most frequently used items such as video resolutions and frame rates, playback menu, color options, and so on are accessible by using swipe gestures. Some other items such as the sharpening settings or stabilization level are hidden deeper in the menu. Regarding the physical controls, there is the usual power button and recording button. The smartphone app is one of the best in the industry. The connection is very fast and reliable. The interface is pretty simple, but it lets you change all of the modes and settings. You can also use the app to edit the footage. If you shoot in Pro mode, you can apply the flow state stabilization, change the field of view, use filters, or even apply LUT if you shoot in lock. I especially like to use this app on an iPad. User-friendly interface in combination with larger screen makes the editing a lot more pleasant. Insta360 also offers a free desktop app. It basically lets you do the same things, but in my opinion it is more comfortable on a larger screen. If you shoot 360 video, you can utilize the smartphone or computer app to choose the framing and camera movement. It is pretty simple and it utilizes keyframes which you can use to add panning or effects such as this tiny planet. I have explained that in my One XS review, so I will leave a link to that in the description. The battery capacity is 1445 mAh and it can last about 70 minutes of continuous recording, which is a good value. A huge advantage of the One R and One RS system is that you can use a larger boosted battery base with 2380 mAh, which will last almost twice as long. It also has an integrated GoPro mount, which means that you can use it to mount the One RS without the housing. I have taken a couple of 30+ minute clips at about 20 degrees temperature. The device was definitely warm, but it wasn't dramatic and it didn't shut down. The audio quality has also been significantly improved. The new core has 3 microphones and the audio quality is indeed much better. I can definitely say that the audio is usable. Having said that, the volume is still a little bit low and there are other high-end action cameras with better audio quality. A big part of One R and One RS ecosystem are the accessories. The good news is that most of the One R accessories are compatible with One RS. One very unfortunate exception is that the filters from the original 4K mod won't work on the 4K boost mod just because of that angled edge, which seems to be just a design feature. RS will fit into the small rig cage for 1R, but only if you use the smaller battery included with 1R. The same applies to the waterproof housings. All other accessories, including vertical battery base, will work with no issues. To sum up, Insta360 One RS builds on the basis of the One R and it brings improvements in some key areas. For me personally, the biggest improvements are the colors. Those are among the most accurate and they greatly improve the overall output, which applies to all 1st gen and 2nd gen mods. New 48 megapixel 4K boost mod shoots nice 4K footage with solid video processing considering the sensor resolution. A bit of a disappointment is the lack of 4K 120p video. My favorite mod is still 1-inch mod, which once again greatly benefits from updated colors. I will probably make a separate video about that one later on. New internal stabilization is now on par with other high-end action cameras. Probably the biggest compromise that comes with the modular design is the small screen size, which is a bit difficult to use. Insta360 One RS is a good choice especially for those who can benefit from interchangeable modes, and I can recommend it to these users. So that's it for this video, thank you for watching, I hope that you liked this video and that you have found it to be useful. Stay tuned for more videos and maybe consider subscribing if you don't want to miss my future content. I appreciate your feedback in form of thumbs up or thumbs down. If you would like to ask anything or share your opinion, please do so in the comment section and see you next time.